My God, like, where did this year go? Because it feels like the past 2 years have just like flown by.
I mean, 2020 just disappeared in a flash, obviously, because everyone was just inside and depressed. But like this year, I feel we were able to go out a little bit more, at least in Japan. We're able to go out a little bit more than last year. But I think in our case, we just had so much shit going on that it all just like seems like a blur.
I mean, I thought I was busy in 2020, and then 2021 was like, allow me to introduce myself, and then
every like on the iPhone calendar, like when you have something on the iPhone calendar, like you have something on that day, there's like a little dot to symbolize it. So it's very easy on iPhone to see how busy your past couple of months were because every month I came up to the next month and I was like, I'll be a lot more free next month. Like this month was super busy. Next month though, no dots. Enter that month. All dots.
every time.
It's like, oh, cool. I had 3 days off last month. No wonder I'm fucking tired.
Yeah, it was really surreal seeing just your calendar fill up because I remember when I first moved to Japan, I thought, who needs a calendar? We're YouTubers. We don't need calendars. We make our own schedule. You move to Japan and slowly you're just like, maybe I need a calendar just to like keep track of like 1 or 2 days. And then more stuff keeps creeping in. And then you're just like, oh, wait, I need to put my personal life on my calendar as well. Because like now I don't know when like my mates want to hang out if I have something going on that day.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it's so surreal just being this busy, and I never expected to be this busy in my life.
I mean, it's definitely a good thing, right? Like, it's a very definitely a very privileged position, I would say, to be busy and doing all sorts of cool stuff. But like at the same time, it's only so much my body can handle.
You know that scene in like every like business movie where the CEO's like, put it in my calendar. I thought that was just a cliche.
Deborah, pencil it in.
Oh, do I have time for this meeting? Put it in my calendar.
It's only a matter of time until we all have our own Deborahs that have to pencil shit in for us.
I think so. I unironically want an assistant.
Yeah, right?
I know that sounds terrible. I thought like, what the fuck? I would never want one. But now I'm like, oh, actually, a lot of things could be helped if I had someone who helped schedule things.
Yeah, I know a couple of like YouTuber friends who live here that have like personal assistants, and I'm like, oh my God, that seems like a fucking lifesaver.
Oh man, the thought of having to like speak to someone and be like, hey, my life's a mess. Can you help me? Like, it's not about that. Like, I feel, I don't know how to explain it. I'm embarrassed about having to get my life in order. You know what I mean? That's what it is. So it's like going to the doctor. I don't want you to tell me that I'm shit at health. Like, I know that, but if I go to the doctor, I'm gonna have 100% confirmation that I am unhealthy.
I just don't want to be that guy who's like, talk to my PA.
Yeah.
Talk
to my assistant.
I don't do that. But it's like, let me say, like, if you want to like get permission for stuff or get like, I don't know, you're like, okay, I need to be able to like arrange all this shit. Can you help me do that? I don't know. But like, I mean, some days, like, I don't know, about 4 days of the week, I pretty much fill my schedule up from literally like 8 o'clock till like midnight.
Yeah.
It's like full doing stuff. But I like that. I like doing it. And live streaming has added a bunch of time that needs to be squished.
Yeah, I mean, you've put more work on yourself this year because I feel like this year is the year that you've really upped your live streaming schedule. As like, you basically have almost like 3 channels now. You got Trash Taste, you got your main channel, and then you got your live stream channel, right?
Yeah, well, because now I'll do live streams in the morning or the evening. So if I'm not doing something in the morning, like let's say if I have something at 12 o'clock, like like we record Trash. Or today we did it at 11.
Yeah,
right? But if we did it at 12, I would be like, all right, sick. I'll wake up at 8. I'll live stream until 12. I'll come here.
Yeah, and
then I'll like work all day, and then I'll go do something in the evening, and then I'll sleep. This is why I can't watch shows, actually. This is what I've realized. I literally have no time. I don't know what Joe's excuse is. I'm like streaming until I sleep. So I realized I have no time to watch TV.
Literally have to pencil in the times I watch anime now. Right? Because here's like the ultimatum of every anime YouTuber, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times it takes more work to make a video about an anime than to watch an anime. Yeah. So I actually have to pencil in, okay, this is the time I'm going to put into making a video about anime, and here's the time that I have to pencil in to watch anime. And like the time I pencil in to watch anime is like this. The time I pencil in to make videos is like that.
Yeah.
This is like the equivalent like doctors having to like study new practices to stay on top of their game. Yeah. It's like, I have to watch anime.
I just want to
R&D.
I just love to think that like, if I was like if someone was like a mate of Gaunt's and was like, hey Gaunt, you want to like hang out on X day at X time, and Gaunt just being like, Sorry, man, that's anime time.
literally, there have been times where Sydney's like, Garn, can we hang out on this night? And I'm like, sorry, Sydney, it's my anime watching night. It's part of my job. I need to keep up with like what's airing right now.
My friends laugh at me because I have to like ask them. I send them email like invitations to like times to like hang out.
Yeah,
I'm like, let's hang out. I'll send you an email.
Yeah.
To like put it in your calendar. Because I'll forget. And like
you send them like a Google Calendar notification.
I think about like the last 10 times I agreed to hang out with someone, at least on like a call, not like in person. I've never like not turned up in person, but like on call to hang out with people who like I don't get to see often, or people who live in other countries.
Yeah.
I think like the last 5 out of 10 that I didn't put in my calendar, I think I like turned up late or just forgot about.
Yeah, if I don't put it in,
and I feel terrible about that. I'm a bad friend, but yeah.
If I don't put it in my calendar, because sometimes you get like free time, or you think you get free time, you're like, do I actually have free time? So you whip out the calendar and you're like, oh, I do have free time. And then an hour passes and you get a message and you're like, oh, weren't you meant to be? We're meant to have a call, or we're meant to be hanging out. And you're like, oh fuck, it's a lie.
It's so vivid.
It's a lie.
For me, it's like the problem is like, you know, going back to like the Apple Calendar thing. I'm like, all right, finally, I wake up and I'm like, finally, a day where the dot is non-existent. I have a day off. I can do whatever the fuck I want. But then I go to my computer, I look at my other schedule that's sitting at my desk, and I'm like, oh, I have to edit 3 videos and do 2 sponsors. Yes. All right, so it's not a day off. It's a day to be inside, but I'm not necessarily doing anything outside, so it's not a day off. And yeah, that's been my life for the past 2 years.
Do you guys have to-do lists?
Yeah.
I've been starting to like do to-do lists now because I have to forget what I have to do.
To-do lists, the day I discovered to-do lists, to do like
a caveman standing over a rock.
Yeah, game changer.
There was a list of things I had to do. It changed my mind.
I don't even think cavemen were that impressed when they discovered fire. Like, because like one of my friends
these easy tips.
Honestly, dude, like, especially when it comes to like our stuff, because we have so many things that we have to do and so many things that we want to do.
Yeah.
Right. So my dad actually taught me like how to make the perfect to-do list, which is you wake up in the morning and you think to yourself, all right, you jot down everything that you can think of that you can do and that you have to do. You jot it down, and then from that list, everything that is super important goes to the top.
Yeah.
Everything that else that can wait a couple of days goes to the bottom.
Yeah.
And then you go on with your day, you tick off everything that you do. And at the end of the day, if you're left with a couple of things, that's all right. That becomes the top of your to-do list the next day.
Right.
And I've been doing that for the past year, and I've become infinitely productive. Like, I guarantee that's what Mudan does as well, probably. With the amount of shit he has to do.
I have to ask. I'm like, how do I find more hours in the day, Mudan? Yeah. You seem to like pull from this infinite pool of hours that I don't know where you find.
I don't want to. Mere mortals aren't meant to have that level of productivity.
I threw away my humanity long ago.
You don't want to wield that level of productivity.
Like, I just want to know, what did Mudan sacrifice? You know, what?
I think he like
everything.
Hooked.
What did it cost? Everything.
I think he hooked his like brain and heart to a car battery. It was just like constantly just going.
I can't wait for him to come on and explain himself.
It's like, just don't sleep.
But like when you talk to him, he's awful at like explaining how he's productive. Like he doesn't make it sound realistic at all.
He's just like, I just wake up in the morning, I just do it. Yeah, he's the epitome of just get good.
Yeah, you like with Mudan, I only see like the input and output, like input editing work, output a video. I don't see like what happens. It's basically just like a black box, right? It's like the YouTube algorithm, because like you kind of know how it works, but no one really knows the inner workings of the YouTube algorithm. That's just like Mudan and editing for me, man.
Have you ever seen Mudan edit?
The only time I've seen him edit is on stream, and that's where he's also doing something else while he's editing.
He's probably like holding back on streams as well, so people don't get freaked out.
He's only using 2% of his brain.
Sorry.
Honestly, that's how impressive it is, because it's like, I think, you know, people already know who watch the show are aware of just how much he edits for Trash Taste and also for me and Connor. But I think people forget that, you know, other people also ask him to edit offhand
he's
as
editing
well.
for Sydney now as well.
Yeah, right?
So I'm just like...
And not to mention, he edits his own streams and he streams.
And he also streams as well.
And he also streams, like, pretty regularly. So I'm like, what? How?
Man's a beast.
I would like to know Mudan, what is your secret?
When you come on,
you can tell us. Please.
Longer-awaited episode.
We're also waiting for the country to open back up, which hopefully will finally happen next year as well.
It's looking promising-ish.
That's the biggest thing I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
I think it's going to happen next year. It's just when. It's like, is it going to happen early or late? That's the, that's the big question.
I think everyone is saying like as early as maybe Feb or March, right? I think is when
March would be nice.
Visitors can come in, because right now I think if you're a non-visitor, so if you're like a student or you're on work visa or stuff like that, you can technically come in now.
Yeah.
Not that I've seen any actual examples of people coming in.
Well, I assume they need to get. I haven't looked into the process, but I assume they need to reapply for some kind of application or process.
Assume so, yeah.
Because, not tourists, but at least if you have a working visa or you've been waiting for like a job or to study here, then you can come here, which is good. Which is like, it shouldn't have taken 2 years to get to this point. Yeah.
I feel bad for the students, man.
Yeah, I know, right?
Just being like, finally, I get to live my dream of coming to Japan.
No, it makes me feel so bad because like when we applied, we had to wait like 3 months, and that was just like the worst 3 months, right? Because it's not the fact that it's 3 months; it's the fact that it's 3 months where you don't know what's going to happen in your life, and you're just like your life's kind of in limbo until you get that confirmation to be like, oh, okay, finally, I can start packing, I can start preparing to go, and then but while you're waiting, you're just like, should I start? Should I go? What's kind of going on in my life right now?
I was wondering with the students thing. I was thinking like, okay, we had no way of knowing that it was going to take 2 years for Japan to open.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know what I haven't really spoken to any students about it, but like, what was like if you got to like you're like day one, right? You find out Japan's closing. Like, do you just like wait and see, or do you just decide to do something else and then like hope that you can just then go back?
Well,
like, I don't know.
I think for most students, I don't think anyone was anticipating them to fucking stay in limbo for 2 years, right? So I'm sure the majority of students were like, oh, I still got time. I can wait.
But fuck, imagine losing 2 years of like, I guess, progress you could have made in your 20s.
Yeah.
But then again, it's not really that important because I guess a lot of people in life didn't start doing their main thing until they were like 40. So I guess it really doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I mean, but I think what sucks is that you just have 2 years where you can't really commit to something. That's what really sucks for me. Where I always want to have a goal that I'm working towards and know that I'm actively working towards that goal.
Yeah, me too.
Because one of my biggest pet peeves is like if I feel like I'm not working towards something, then I just feel lost, and I just feel like a fucking lost soul. And I need something concrete to work towards. And that's why like I really empathize to anyone waiting for a visa. And thank God you guys can finally come here.
Hopefully you get here soon. Get to eat some superhuman.
the number one thing. Fuck the sushi, fuck the ramen. Go to your local Skimmin joint and discover true happiness.